Hello and welcome to episode 324 of the Filmmakers Podcast. This is an inspirational, motivational podcast to inspire you. And no matter what you're going through as a filmmaker, we can inspire you and hopefully help you overcome it. So you can relate, implement, and know you are not the only one going through what you are going through as a filmmaker and creator. So listen up and take what you can from people who have been there and done it. I am Giles Alderson, and on this week's episode, we have returning hero Benjamin Caron. Benjamin is here to talk about his brand new film Sharper, starring Julianne Moore. He started his TV career directing documentaries and music videos for artists such as Jay-Z, and he made a name for himself with The Heist, which was the Derren Brown 1 hour special you might remember. Ben then moved into drama, directing Skins and earning an RTS nomination for Best Director. His work on the debut season of My Mad Fat Diary was nominated for an Emmy, BAFTA and RTS award for Best Drama Series. It was around this time that I met Ben and we worked together on the web series The Secret World of Sam King. In TV, he's directed Tommy Cooper, Not Like That, Like This, and the BAFTA and Emmy Golden Globe awarded detective series Wallander for the BBC, starring Kenneth Branagh. He also directed the final episode of Sherlock, starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Rupert Graves. Ben directed 11 episodes over 4 seasons of The Crown for Netflix. He served as both lead director and exec producer on seasons 3 and 4, and won 4 Golden Globes and 11 Emmys, including an award for Outstanding Drama Series. He also received an Emmy nomination himself for Outstanding Directing for a Drama Series for his Crown episodes Aberfam and Fairy Tale. Most recently, Ben has directed the series Star Wars Andor for Disney+. And like I say, he's here to talk about Sharper, which he made for Apple TV and A24, which stars Justice Smith, Brianna Middleton, Sebastian Stan, John Lithgow, and Julianne Moore. Me and Ben are joined on this episode by fellow host Christian James. You'll know Christian has been on the podcast many times as a host, and he is a fantastic director. And we delve deep into what Ben likes as a director, what he creates, what he goes through, what it's like on set for him. And to be honest, we had a wonderful time, and I hope that comes across. I think it'd be very hard not to. Some great news about 3 Day Millionaire, the feature film I produced, which was directed by Jack Spring. It is out in the UK at the moment, but it is released today in the USA and Canada. Go seek it out. Link to it will be in the show notes, but it's on all the usual places. But do search it out on Amazon if you can, and do leave a lovely review. It makes all the difference. And in the UK, it's coming out on Netflix Friday the 25th. It's literally this Friday of February. So if you can now go watch that. You got a Netflix account, go support, go watch it. And if you like it, please go on IMDb and give it an amazing review. All the usual stuff. Whatever you can do to help us as indie filmmakers grow, and in turn will help you because we can give you more advice. So let's get to it, shall we? This is our episode with the fantastic Benjamin Caron, who has been on the podcast before, episode 37, nearly 300 ago, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Well, when I think about it, I'm sure you don't think about it. Sharper is out now in cinemas and on Apple TV. I hope after you've listened to this, you go and watch it and you enjoy it, because it's fabulous. We talked for 2 hours. I have to cut this down now on a late, cold, wet Monday evening to get it out into your ears for today or for the rest of the week or whenever you're listening to this in the future, which means I'm cutting it down to somewhere over an hour. But that means there's so much bonus content which is going to be on our Patreon. So jump to it. Link to that is in the show notes, but it's patreon.com/The Filmmakers Podcast. Next week we have the director of Ant-Man 1, Ant-Man 2 and Ant-Man 3, Quantum Mania. It is Peyton Reed. So for now, sit back, relax and enjoy this chat with myself, Giles Alderson, the lovely Christian James, and the ever delightful and hilarious and brilliantly talented Ben Caron. Enjoy.
Is this to hold or to lie?
It's a hold. I mean, you can lie down.
Like just
lie down. Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is like
This is the life.
Wait, we're doing breathing exercise, CJ, at the start of the podcast. Ben's having a little rest.
I did breathing exercises once.
Did you? Once?
On the set of Sherlock.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Why? I was with Rupert this morning, actually. Rupert Graves.
I love that man.
He's great, isn't he? But yeah, so wait, you were breathing on the set?
No, so I...
So Ben, I'm just putting some water near your laptop there.
Yeah, that's all right.
Right next to it.
Yeah, good. I need a new laptop.
I know there's probably nothing...
To get the Filmmakers Podcast to pay for it.
Yeah.
On the, it's on the cloud, isn't it? It's on the cloud.
Yeah, anyone can get it.
It was like pre-therapy, and I was trying to find some way to sort of stop the noise in your head.
Yeah.
And we're recording this.
But I can cut this out.
We can cut it out.
No, I don't mind. I mean, it's fine.
But I will cut anything that you say.
Okay, thanks.
We'll go down avenues, and anything you say, can we cut that out? We'll just, we'll say that out.
In the end, we'll have 4 minutes.
And all. And I was trying to find ways of calming the noises in your head. And certainly when you're shooting, those noises can get very loud and very intense.
What kind of noises are they? Because I'm as in, is it kill them all, or are they, what are they?
They're kind of anxious noises.
Okay, fine.
They're not even. Sometimes they're just a feeling, a tone. Sometimes they are literally just your inner voice telling you that this person doesn't like you, or this is not going to be very good at this. Things that everyone has.
We've seen you on set. You don't look like those.
Yeah.
You were totally in control. We came on set of The Crown, and you were like totally amazing on set. It was amazing to watch.
You were okay.
No,
you definitely.
Who do I believe? Who do I believe?
Yeah. Which a mixture. Just go in the middle.
Okay,
Look, this is it. The inner voice.
No, you definitely look like you knew what you're doing.
But that's the presentation of. I think that's what I'd like to present on set, because everyone looks to you to. Leadership in some way, I guess, or looks to you to be in control and have some idea about what you're doing. Where of course you've got no fucking idea what you're doing. And underneath, everyone talks about the swan, don't they? Underneath your legs are kicking away, but on top you're like, I'm just cruising along, having a great time. I know exactly what I'm doing. But obviously, if you take off the top of my head and look inside, there's a big orchestra in there, sort of making a big fucking noise. Someone said, "Oh, you should do some mindfulness."
Yes.
I was like, all right, what does that involve then? Like, actually, it's impossible on the show not to name drop, is it? So
it's impossible.
Because it sounds like I'm a name drop, but I'm not like going, it was.
We try and do it all the time.
The podcast's so big now, we can't help it every other word.
Well, it's when I was talking to Ken Branagh. Oh, sorry, Sir Ken Branagh.
Yeah,
and
Kenneth.
And Kenneth, and.
I think you could name drop bigger as well. That's the thing.
I'm just starting.
Just starting.
Yeah.
We've got a ways to go.
Thanks. And I was directing Wallander, and when I arrived in the morning, he used to sit in the car and he had an eye mask on. I thought, okay, he's just having a nap before he comes on set. That's not a nice thing to do. And then I was like, did you have a nice sleep this morning in the car? And he was like, oh no, I'm meditating. I was like, oh, right, meditating. What kind of meditation do you do? And he's like, transcendental meditation. I was like, TM. TM? I was like, what is that? And he sort of explained it to me. Yeah. I still didn't really get it. And he said, look, there's courses you can go on. You can do all that. And then it just sort of stayed there. And I didn't really do anything about it for probably 2 or 3 years. But it was sort of stayed in the back of my head. And then I found one day I sort of came across this app. And it was sort of
the orange with the orange dot. Is it that one? I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called mindfulness, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. It was actually.
I tried this. I've been on this journey too. So, yeah. We can't advertise. You can't advertise. Sorry.
I can't remember. It's a really simple one, but it's not. It doesn't. All it does. This is madness, right? All it does is it. Yeah. Well, actually, no. It has a 10-day sort of course where it sort of gets you ready and teaches you what to do, and it's really. I'm not the person. I don't work for TM. I'm not going to say
you're not selling it.
I'm not selling it, and I'm probably don't listen to me. This is probably not what it is.
Well, this is the whole point. This is to listen to you. That's a podcast. That's what we're here to do. Listen to Ben talk.
This is not probably what it is.
Don't worry, we're cutting this
But
out.
you basically have a mantra that you sort of say over. I can't believe we're doing this. We have a mantra that we sort of just do over and over in your head, and you clear everything else out, and that's what you do.
Yeah.
And so all this app does, it just gives you a bong,